Okay, let's dive right in. We're looking at this really central, kind of shocking fact today. Nearly 60% of Americans apparently can't cover a sudden $1,000 emergency expense.
It's a staggering number, truly. And you think about what $1,000 covers, it's often not some huge catastrophe, right? It could just be the car breaking down, maybe an unexpected medical bill, or, the AC going out in summer.
Exactly, just basic life stuff.
Right. So our mission here is really to unpack the why behind this gap, drawing on what we've researched, and crucially give you some actionable steps so you don't end up in that 60%.
6 out of 10 people.
Yeah.
I mean, that's most people we probably know. It feels like it should be a personal issue, but the sources suggest it's more like a massive external squeeze.
Yeah.
Why is it so tough right now?
Well, a big part of it starts with that systemic pressure, the rising cost of living. It's simple math, really. Wages just haven't kept pace with the essentials. Think rent, groceries, gas.
Everything feels more expensive.
It is more expensive. And that forces people into this paycheck-to-paycheck cycle. Once the must-pay bills are handled, there's often zero margin left, nothing for savings.
And if you're managing to just barely keep your head above water, debt often pulls you under. You mentioned sources highlighting record-high credit card debt.
Absolutely. And it's not just the debt amount, it's the interest. We're seeing rates around 20% becoming common. When you're paying that kind of interest, your minimum payments, they barely touch the principal.
They just vanish.
Pretty much. They act like a vacuum for your cash flow. The sources really frame this as a trap. It turns even small overspending into this big blocker for future savings. You're constantly just trying to catch up.
Okay, so that's the external squeeze costs up, debt traps.
Yeah.
But the sources also point inward, right? Even if someone navigates those pressures, there are internal hurdles.
Yeah, definitely. A huge one is what's called lifestyle inflation. You get a raise, maybe a bonus, or just generally your income goes up.
You feel like you've made it. Time for an upgrade.
Exactly. The natural tendency is to upgrade maybe a slightly nicer car, a bigger apartment, that vacation you've been dreaming of, but that immediately eats up the extra cash.
So the potential to save just disappears.
It vanishes. Any chance to build that emergency fund from the new income is gone because your baseline spending went up too.
And that often goes hand in hand with just not having a plan, right? No budget.
Precisely. Many people genuinely don't track where their money goes. If you don't have a budget or even just a basic money plan, saving feels impossible. It's that old saying, you can't fix what you can't see.
Which feeds that whole mindset issue.
Right. The psychological trap, thinking, I'll start saving when I make more money. But saving isn't really about the income level fundamentally.
It's a habit.
It's a habit. It's a muscle you build. If you're not figuring out how to save even a little bit when you make, say, $2,000 a month, the chances are you won't magically start saving when you hit $5,000. The habits aren't there.
Okay, this is making sense, but it sounds a bit bleak. Let's pivot to solutions. We need a blueprint, right? How do you actually build that first $1,000 cushion? The sources mentioned small, consistent steps.
Yes, and that's the good news. It's achievable. We're not talking about needing heroic willpower, more like setting up systems. So tip number 1, automate your savings.
Like set it and forget it.
Exactly. Set up an automatic transfer, even just $20 a week. Do the math, it's over $1,000 in a year. And because it just happens.
So you barely notice it leaving your checking account.
Right. Out of sight, out of mind. It minimizes that feeling of losing money to savings. And link that to tip 4. Have a dedicated emergency-only account.
Separate from everything else.
Completely separate. Don't mix your emergency fund with your bill money or your fund money. Keep it slightly inconvenient to access, even.
Okay, automate and separate. What else?
Optimize your cash flow, but strategically. Forget agonizing over a $5 latte. The data suggests focusing on cutting one big recurring expense.
Like what?
Negotiate your car insurance. Shop around for a better phone plan. Refinance high-interest debt if you can. Finding an extra $50, or ideally $100 a month consistently from one big change, that's where the real traction is.
That adds up way faster than skipping coffee.
Way faster. Another angle is the side hustle strategy. Pick up something small, driving for a delivery app, some freelance writing, even just selling stuff you don't need online.
Okay.
But here's the key. Dedicate all of that side income directly to the emergency fund. Don't let it blend into your regular spending. It creates this psychological wall between your main wages and your savings goal.
Got it. So it feels like extra money specifically for the fund.
Precisely. And the final piece of advice really ties it all together. Consistency over perfection. Don't get discouraged if you can only start small.
Even $5 a day?
Even $5 a day, that's still $150 a month. Building the habit, making progress, is way more important initially than the actual dollar amount. The goal is building that resilience, that habit muscle.
So wrapping this up, the shocking truth isn't really that people are lazy or bad with money. It's more this combination, this perfect storm of outside pressures and some tricky internal habits or blind spots.
Yeah, that sums it up well. The system makes it hard, and our own patterns can sometimes make it harder. But the point is, you can absolutely flip the script. You now have that blueprint.
Use automation, make those high leverage cuts, stay consistent.
Start today. Implement just one thing, like setting up that auto transfer, that $1,000 cushion, that bit of safety. It really can be yours within a few months. It gives you real breathing room.
That's a much more hopeful place to end. Start today, build that cushion. Powerful stuff.